Ciao everyone, I'm Francesco and welcome to Tortellino time. Christmas has gone, all the decorations have come down, all 12 boxes back in the loft, and I'm now cooking for New Year's Eve. It's just Julie and I, and I'm cooking a Sicilian inspired roasted duck legs in a pork glaze, absolutely delicious. So let's make a start. So my legs have been out of the fridge for a good half an hour and they are almost at room temperature. So the first thing I'll do, I'll score the skin crossway, very gently though, do not cut the meat, just the skin, like so. A little salt and pepper, I'll turn them around and I'll do the same, followed by a sprinkle of oregano on this side as well. I will be cooking them in the oven, but initially I will be searing them on the hob. So I'm placing them inside a cast iron pan, which will be the same pan which will be going in the oven eventually. Before I switch it on, I'll add a little olive oil on top, but also on the base. And I'll move them a little so that the entire base is covered in oil. And in the meantime, I've also turned the heat on number 7, which is medium high. In case you're wondering, searing helps to render the fat from the skin, creating a wonderful, crispy and flavorful skin. Also, it adds a rich color and depth of flavor to the duck. And within 3 or 4 minutes, I'll turn it around and I'll do the other side as well. And they're done for the time being, and I'll move them back in the original tray, 1 and number 2. I'll be making a little bed of vegetables, not too many. So I'll start with a little rosemary first, and I'll put it in the same pan, so do not discard of the oil or the fat. Medium size red onion, I'll chop it into little pieces like this. And I'll put it inside. 3 cloves of garlic. My garlic seems to be a little bit over, but that'll be fine. I'll remove these bits.
I think you need a bigger knife. Look at that thing, look at that.
I know. I haven't used this knife in a while, so I decided to get it out and use again. I like it. It's one of my favorites.
The tiniest cloves of garlic ever.
Well, it is out now. I'll just crush them gently with my knife and I'll pick them up and add them as well. There. I'm going to get back to my legs now and I'll position them on top of my onion and like so that they're not in direct contact with the metal. Just a little bit more olive oil on top of everything, not a lot, 1 tablespoon equivalent will be fine. I'll place the lid on and I'll put them in the oven, temperature 190 degrees for 1 hour. And in the meantime, I'll show you what I do with some of the other ingredients. In the meantime, using one of these tools, in Italian it's called a mandolina, maybe a mandolin? What do you think, Julie? Mandolin?
Do you know, the word is familiar to me, but potato slicer,
Anyway,
vegetable slicer.
I've actually sliced a couple of medium-sized potatoes, and this is what I've got now, but you can cut them any size you like. That is what I fancy doing tonight. So I'll put them in a larger bowl. I've also peeled a couple of carrots and I'm now slicing them, not too dissimilar size to the potatoes, maybe a little bit bigger, so that they've got a little bit more substance. And I'm chopping them in long pieces as I like this shape.
Me too. They're lovely and sweet when they're cooked like that. So,
yes.
oh, yeah.
And I'll put them in as well. I've got another couple of sprigs of rosemary and I'm actually now just adding them as well. As always, I'll leave salt for last, but I'll put a generous amount of pepper first, followed by some olive oil. Quantities to taste, but I will be putting most probably something like 1 tablespoon, like so. And I'm going to be mixing them using my hands, as it's going to be easy, especially as the potatoes, they are stuck together. So using your fingers, you can really get in between each slice. I think I'm going to add a little bit more oil, because there is quite a lot of surface to cover, so I don't want to be too mean tonight. It is a New Year's Eve after all. 1 further mix. I've got a baking tin which I've lined up with some paper, baking paper of course, and I'm going to now put all of my potatoes and my carrots inside it. This might be quicker.
Yeah, just a bit.
There is quite a lot of them, so try and spread them about a little, as much as you can, and then we can give them a toss halfway through. And I'll put them in the oven alongside the duck, same temperature, so maybe 45 minutes, an hour, we will see at the end. And I'm ready to make the Sicilianized port glaze. I'll start with a couple of hundred milliliters of port, any port will do. Nice large orange, and I'll grate the zest into the port. making sure that you stick to the zest and not the white bits, which could be quite bitter. And generally a couple of firm strikes is enough, and then you move on like this. If you look at my orange, he's beginning to look very sad for himself.
Are you using the juice too?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
You could also use lemon if you wish, but this is duck, and duck and orange go very, very well together.
Ou as in duck à l'orange.
If you're using one of these fancy tools, don't forget to go at the back, because there's quite a lot there, look. Same orange, I'm going to slice it in half and start squeezing all of the lovely juice. I'm quite lucky because this orange hasn't got any pips, so actually I can move everything in my pot, including all of this lovely fluffy stuff.
Like the fleshy stuff of
The
the
fleshy
orange,
stuff,
yeah.
indeed,
I
yes.
like that too.
Next ingredient is going to be honey, and I'm going to measure this because I don't want my glaze to be too sweet, so I'm going to stick to 1 dessertspoon, like so, and in it goes. Capers, which I've just rinsed under the tap, a couple of teaspoons, in the go. Make sure you do rinse them because they're very, very salty and could spoil your glaze, of course. And my last ingredient to complete my Sicilianized port glaze is going to be olives. These are pitted olives which we buy in a jar. This is a brand new jar, and they are in brine at the moment. And I'm going to be using 3 dessertspoons, but you can use as many as you like, or you can use none if you don't like olives, but 3 is enough for us.
Can I just ask why you didn't use the ones in oil?
Because I don't want oil in my glaze.
Ah, okay.
And I'm going along with my trusted knife and halving them. And this is one of the reasons why I like this knife. Look, in one scoop I can pick everything up and in they go. And I'm ready to move to the hob to make the glaze now. Higher setting, number 9 in my case, and I'll whisk until it starts boiling. And it's beginning to boil, so I'll turn it down on number 5, medium, and I'll carry on whisking, and I'll leave it to simmer on and off. I'll come and mix it for a good 15, maybe 20 minutes until my glaze will have thickened and it will be absolutely beautiful and smooth. You might want to taste it in between to make sure that it's the taste you like. If it's too sweet, for example, you might want to add a little lemon juice instead of orange, which will bring a different type of flavor in terms of bitterness. Or you might want to add a little bit more honey if you want it to be a little bit sweeter. I will taste it at the end and I'll let you know. 20 minutes on and my port glaze is ready. If you look, has changed its consistency considerably, but I have actually occasionally turned it up like this, number 9, and do you mind coming in please? And you will see that if you turn it on maximum, it starts boiling like a maniac, so you make sure that you stir it properly, and then you turn it down again. Enough so that you get something which is lovely and smooth and creamy like this. Make sure you don't burn it, so I'll turn it off now. And there it is, look, wonderful. So all I've got to do now is wait for the meat, and then I'll show you what to do next. And talking of the devil, it is now 1 hour, so I can get my couple of legs out. I'll show you the potatoes, by the way. I've given them a little toss, and they're cooking beautifully. As you can see, they are browning, so I'll put them in for another 15 minutes. And let's take a look at the duck. Oh, they're doing really well. Look at them, lovely. So, very simply, I'm going to get a spoon and apply my glaze on top of each leg, like so, and like so. And I'm going to leave a little for the end, so I can put it on the plate when everything is served up. While I'm at it, I'll get some of the oil, and also I'll cover the legs with it, so that that will enrich the flavor. And I'll put the lid back on, and I will be going back in the oven for a further 10 minutes, same temperature, and then they will be ready. And at the same time also the potatoes should be ready, so I'll see you then. And I think we're there. Let's start with the potatoes first. Oh, I just got a facial, Julie. Oh, look at them, they look lovely. Still sizzling. You will recall I didn't put any salt. I'll do that now. And using my spatula, I'll just mix everything together. Duck next. There we go. Oh, look at that, Julie.
Smells yummy.
Also, I've just done some peas, nothing magic, straight water from the freezer. I'll drain them and they will be ready as well as a side. And I'll put a dish together and then I will go because we're getting quite hungry with all this lovely smell around. I'm going to switch for a spoon actually because I want to pick some of this lovely onion as well. I'll put it here on the top. And don't forget to scoop some of the oil as well. If I end up having a fight with the
Have a
rosemary.
twig as well. Twig, anyone?
There you go. Potatoes next. Don't forget the carrots, of course. And a little bit more oil on top of your potatoes and carrots. Like so. And my last vegetable is going to be peas. So just a few spoons. And you will recall that I kept some of the sauce, and so I'm just going to put that on top as well, just because it's not being cooked in the oven, and it will carry slightly different flavour. And it is ready. I'll just take a few photos and then I'll taste it. The potatoes are lovely and crispy, and so the carrots are not as crispy, but they are absolutely wonderful. Try the potatoes and the carrots first. The little oil from the duck really make a difference. But let's go for the duck now, and then I'll go because someone is really hungry here. Oh, it's absolutely divine. It's a combination of flavors which is really gorgeous, and the sweetness from the honey balanced by the bitterness from the olives and the capers, absolutely delicious. Try it, honestly, you will really love it. Let me know how you get on. Okay, that's the end of it. That will be my first, probably the very first video in the new year, and Happy New Year once again, or Buon Anno as we say in Italy, and looking forward to do more and more next year. Ciao ciao and arrivederci.